Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I'm Siti Zulaika and we'll be present our report on nation building in Malaysia through the new economic policy or NEP introduced by Tun Abdul Razak Hussein. Nation building is the process of creating a united, stable, and developed country where people from different backgrounds can live together peacefully. So this is very important in Malaysia because our society consists of different ethnic groups, religions, and also cultures. And one of the leaders who played an important role in nation building was Tun Abdul Razak Hussein, the second Prime Minister of Malaysia. He served from 1970 until 1976 and introduced several policies to improve economic development and strengthen national unity. He believed that unity could only be achieved when all Malaysians had equal opportunities to improve their quality of life. So one of his most significant contributions was the new economic policy or NEP, which was launched in 1971 after the May 13 incident of 1969. The incident highlighted economic inequalities and racial tensions in the country, leading the government to introduce new measures to promote stability and harmony. So the main objectives of the NEP were to reduce poverty regardless of race and to restructure society by reducing economic imbalances among different ethnic groups. And various programs were also introduced, including improvements in education, job creation, rural development, and greater participation in economic activities. So in this presentation, we will discuss the background of the new economic policy, its objectives, the programs implemented under the policy, and its contributions to economic growth, social development, and national unity in Malaysia. Next, I will explain the new economic policy or NEP, which was introduced by Tun Abdul Razak Hussein in 1971. The new economic policy was a major development policy implemented by the Malaysian government from 1971 until 1990. It was introduced to address economic and social problems in Malaysia and to strengthen national unity among the people. The NEP was introduced after the May 13 incident in 1969. So this incident highlighted the economic inequalities and social tensions that existed between different ethnic groups in Malaysia. So at that time, many people, especially those living in rural areas, faced poverty and had limited access to economic opportunities. So therefore, the government believed that these issues needed to be addressed to ensure that peace, stability, and national development. The NEP was designed to create a more balanced society by improving the economic conditions of the people and reducing social inequalities. The government believed that reducing economic gaps would help strengthen unity and prevent future conflicts among different communities. So the first objectives of the NEP was to eradicate poverty regardless of race. So during that period, many families had low incomes and limited access to education, healthcare, and employment opportunities. So to overcome these challenges, the government introduced various programs such as Rural Development Project, Job Creation Initiative, Educational Assistance, and income generating activities. So these efforts aimed to improve the quality of life and raise the living standards of all Malaysians. And the second objective of the NEP was to restructure society by reducing economic imbalances between ethnic groups. So before the implementation of the policy, different ethnic groups were often concentrated in different sectors of the economy. As a result, wealth and economic opportunities were not distributed equally. So to address this issue, the government encouraged greater Bumi Putera participation in business industry and professional occupations. So this was intended to create more balanced economic structure and ensure that all communities could contribute to and benefit from national development. So, to achieve these objectives, the government introduced various programs and initiatives, including educational support, business assistance schemes, employment opportunities, and rural development projects. Government agencies and institutions also played an important role in helping citizens improve their economic conditions and gain access to better opportunities. So, besides improving the economy, the NEP also contributed to nation building. So, by reducing poverty and economic inequality, the policy helped promote social stability and strengthen relationships among different ethnic groups. So, the government hoped that a fairer distribution of development benefits would create a more united and harmonious society. So, to conclude, the new economic policy was one of the most important policies introduced by Tun Abdul Razak Hussein. So, through its two main objectives, which were eradicating poverty and restructuring society, the NEP contributed significantly to economic growth, social development, and national unity. It also helped lay the foundation for a more stable and balanced Malaysia. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nuratika. I will present the 4 initiatives under NEP based on Poverty Eradication Program. One of the most important initiatives was the expansion of FELDA. Through FELDA, poor and landless families were given agricultural land, housing, and support to grow cash crops such as oil palm and rubber. This helped them earn a stable income and improve their standard of living. Settlers also received training and access to facilities such as schools, healthcare, services, and transportation. Another major effort was rural development. The government built roads, expanded electricity and water supply, and established schools and healthcare facilities in rural areas. These improvements help increase the economic opportunities and improve living conditions for rural communities. The government also focused on modernizing agriculture by providing farmers with financial assistance, irrigation facilities, technology, and trainings. Farmers were encouraged to use modernized farming methods and grow higher value crops, which increase productivity and income. In addition, education and training programs were introduced through the construction of schools, scholarships, and vocational training opportunities. These initiatives help people gain skills and improve their employment prospects. As a result, Malaysia's poverty rate decreased significantly from 49.3% in 1970 to 16.5% in 1990. These efforts not only reduce poverty but also improve living standards and promote greater national unity. That's all from me. I pass to the next presenter.
Next is social restructuring programs. The goal is to reduce the economic gap and improve living standards for all Malaysians. First, education initiative. The government gives scholarship and financial aid to B40 students. There are also free tuition and skill training like TVET. Second, economic participation programs. This helps people in business. The government supports SMEs and gives training and capital to youths and women entrepreneurs. Third, government agency. Agency like MARA, Tekun, IM help entrepreneurs. The Department of Social Welfare helps the poor. Last, contribution to nation building. These programs reduce poverty and income gap. This creates a more harmonious society and stable economy.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nor Alisa Kasisi and I will be explain about the SWOT analysis of the NEP. So, the first one about the strength. The key strength of the NEP is its success in reducing poverty, especially among the rural Malays and Bumiputra communities through development programs and educational support. Another strength is that it increased Bumiputra participation in the economy through the business opportunities, scholarships, and employment initiatives. The policy also helped improve social and political stability and expanded access to education, which contributes to human capital development. For the next one is weaknesses. One weakness of the NEP is that some groups become too dependent on government assistance, such as quotas and also the subsidies. So the policy also caused dissatisfaction among some non-Bumiputra communities who felt that the opportunity were distributed unfairly. In addition, the benefits were not always equally distributed, as some advantage went to elites and politically connect individuals. Corruption and abuse of opportunity also reduced the effectiveness of the policy. We're moving on to the opportunities. So the NEP create opportunities for balanced economic development by increasing education and economic participation. It also supported industrialization and modernizations, helping Malaysia become more competitive. Furthermore, the policy promote national integration and help develop a skilled workforce for future growth. Finally, the threats. A major threat to the NEP is racial polarization, as ethnic-based policy can sometimes create tension between communities. Globalization and international competition also challenge Malaysia to remain competitive. Additionally, maintaining subsidy and development programs require significant financial resources, while corruption and political patronage can undermine the policy's objective. So, to conclude everything, the NEP's strengths and opportunities it contribute to Malaysians' development, while the weaknesses and also the threats create the challenges that affect its long-term effectiveness. So that's all for my part. I'll pass to the next presenter. That's all from me. Thank you.
For my part, I will explain about the achievement, impact, and also benefit of the target group of national economic policy. Okay, for the first one of the most significant achievement of the national economic policy was poverty reduction and improvement of living standard. Before the policy was introduced, many Malaysians, especially those living in rural area, depends on farming, fishing, and small-scale economic activity that provide low and unstable income. Through the poverty eradication program, land development scheme, and financial assistance, many families were able to improve the quality of life. For example, the FILDA program, which provided land, housing, infrastructure, and agriculture support to rural family. As a result, household income increased and many family gains access to better housing, healthcare, and education. Another important achievement was the expansion of educational opportunity for Bumiputra and low-income groups. The government invested heavily in school, university, scholarship, and training program. Through the institutions such as MARA and MRSM, students from disadvantaged backgrounds were given the opportunity to pursue higher education and develop professional skills. Many graduated later become doctor, engineers, teacher, and government officers. They contribute to Malaysian economic growth and social development.
After that is I will explain the effect of the new economic policy on poverty reduction among the Malaysian, as especially the rural population was one of its biggest impact. Before the policy was adopted in 1971, a significant percentage of the population was engaged in agriculture, fishing, and small-scale economic activity which provide low annual income. The most family, they were not able to educate jobs, education, and healthcare and housing. So, in program in Kedah help them to improve standard of living by providing them with subsidies and modern farming method. The other significant impact of new economic policy was the increased educational opportunity to the Bumiputra and low-income group. The government realized that the educational world contribute to economic development and social advantage in the long term. So this led to the increased scholarship, financial aid, boarding school, and university placement to enable students from a disadvantaged background to attend higher education institution. This policy result in the creation of a more educated and skilled workforce. For example, a low-income student from Sabah who wanted to pursue engineering study in a public university was provided with financial support. And the last impact is the rural sector and country unity. Given the poverty was concentrated in rural community, the government prioritized infrastructure investment including electric, power, water supply, roads, schools, and the healthcare among the other initiative. This improvement increased the quality of living of the rural community and better integrated them in economic opportunity. Rural development had impact beyond the infrastructure. For example, in Sarawak, government-funded development project helped to bring basic infrastructure where it previously was lacking. Road, school, and healthcare construction enhanced the life of the citizens and created new economic opportunity. And after that, I will explain about the benefit of the target group in new economic policy. Okay, for the first one, they have Bumiputra by promoting the involvement in business and corporate ownership. Before the policy, the Bumiputra community was relatively marginalized and less involvement in the modern sector of the economy and did not own a significant proportion of the country were in the form of corporation. In response to this imbalance, the government adopt programs that offer finance, training, and business development. For example, Permodalan Nasional Berhad was one of the main institutions that was established in 1978. The establishment of PNB and introduction of AS and ASB enabled millions of Bumiputra to invest in the corporate equity of a low rate. The second one is new economic policy was the enhancement of infrastructure and public facility in rural area. Prior the policy, many villages did not have a proper roads, electricity, clean water, healthcare facility, and school. The government put a lot of effort into the rural development project, making sure the community have access to the necessary service and facilities. For example, like Kejora Southeast Johor Development Authority, regional development program was created to develop rural area in Johor through the infrastructure development, agriculture development, and settlement scheme. And the last one is new economic policy was to provide job for the target groups, namely Bumiputra, rural people, and low-income group. Many people from Malaysia was working in traditional sector like agriculture, fishing, and small business, where they earn low and less stable wage. However, the lower level of industrialization also result in a lack of employment opportunity in higher paying industry. For example, in Bayan Lepas Free Industrial Zone in Penang, the industrial area was founded in 1972 and drove multinational company like AMD and Hewlett Packard. The presence of this company brought thousands of jobs to Malaysia, including many Bumiputra and rural migrants that were looking for better economic opportunity.
For the recommendation, there are several recommendations that can be met to strengthen this NEP. The first one is to strengthen STEM and TVET education and training.
As the world continues to evolve, the competitions in industries such as electric vehicle, EV, artificial intelligence, AI, and advanced manufacturing will become more intense. So to ensure that Malaysia is future ready in the and to remain competitive in global market, it is important for us to investing in STEM and TVET education to develop more highly skilled workers. This is by encouraging the young people to participate in this field. Government can provide scholarship or give them early exposure to this field so that it can boost more young people to be more involved in this field at the very young age. The second recommendation is to strengthen anti-corruption measure and promote good governance. So government projects and contracts should be more transparent so that the public can monitor whether the project and the budget are where are they going. For instance, like creating a online portal where the citizen can track the status, so that this can increase the transparency and reduce the misuse of public funds. At the same times, for instance, like we can see like MRT2 as a good example where it have been overruns, and when the government review it again, they reduce the cost and improve the efficiency in this MRT2 project. So the last recommendation is to focus on environmental sustainability, as the world have been warned by the climate change over and over again. So it is important for us to really take care of the green forest, especially develop a sustainable development in this country. So this is also for us to be more ready for the biggest global challenges. Protecting the green forest, instead of approving more timber license, government can start to increase the amount of the forest reserve in this country. So in order to protect the biodiversity and the forest especially, so that therefore the government can impose more stricter policies in terms of and encourage tree planting and reforestation program every year. Moving on to the next one. Moving to the leadership style of Tun Abdul Razak, he demonstrated three main leadership style, which is transformational, servant, and strategic leadership. So let us look at the first one is transformational. This happened when he first introduced the new economic policy in 1971, how it shifted the Malaysia economic to more structure and more advanced towards a better changing. After the racial riots happened in 1969, he recognized that the economic inequality could threaten national stability. So that's why he introduced the NEP as a long-term strategy to reduce poverty, restructure the society, and provide more opportunities for Malaysians to participate in economic development. The second is as a servant, which is Tun Abdul Razak really demonstrated as a servant leadership because he prioritized the welfare of the peoples, especially disadvantaged communities. He focused improving education infrastructure and living standards to help people achieve a better quality of life. The last one, which is strategic leadership, this is how he have shown through his long-term planning for Malaysia's future. The NEP was designed as a 20 years development framework, while rural development programs such as FELCRA have improved rural communities' income and living conditions. So that is shows how visionary this leadership styles of the Tun Abdul Razak. So moving on to the conclusion. So for the conclusions, the NEP launched by Tun Abdul Razak has really shaped Malaysia's history. Its main objective were to eradicate the poverty, restructure society, so that economic opportunities were shared more fairly. So even introduce programs such as FELDA, MARA, and PNB, which help the Malaysians on land start business, gain access to education, and participate in investments. So this initiative improved the standard of living for many families and created more employment opportunities, especially for people from the rural area. The NSAP also contribute to a significant reductions in poverty rate, increased access to higher education, and narrow the economic gap between different communities. While the policy have achieved both praise and criticism over the years, its contributions to Malaysia's economic and social developments cannot be denied. So overall, Tun Abdul Razak demonstrated that national development is not only about economic growth, but also ensuring fairness, unity, and equal opportunities for all Malaysians. His vision's leadership laid a strong foundations for the country's progress, and his legacy continues to influence Malaysia's development today. That's all for today. Thank you.